The endless dunes of the Atlantic desert stretched like a living ocean of sand. The sun blazed mercilessly, the heat unbearable. Ethan felt the ground shift unnaturally beneath each step, as though the sand itself was aware. Maria froze more than once, whispering that something unseen was walking beside them. At dusk, mirages shimmered across the horizon, lakes, ruins, skeletal trees. Their GPS faltered, sending them toward places that simply didn't exist. Suddenly, Maria stopped, her face drained of color. She swore she heard footsteps, human, deliberate, yet no one was there. From beneath the dunes came a faint thrum, like the heartbeat of the earth. The desert was not silent, it was breathing. The heat grew merciless, their water nearly gone. Without warning, David disappeared. His footprints simply ended mid-stride, as though the earth had swallowed him whole. Maria, trembling, insisted she could still hear his voice calling from under the sand. Lena lifted her camera. In the flickering footage, something moved. A shadow not shaped like a man, gliding beneath the surface. Ethan tried to explain it away as heat distortion, but his voice faltered. Even he didn't believe himself. That night, the dunes came alive. Shadows slithered out of the sand, first forming human figures, then beasts, and finally grotesque, unearthly shapes that defied recognition. They circled, watching, waiting. On the third day, a storm rose on the horizon. Not clouds, sand, red as blood, swirling into a colossal wall. The air burned in their lungs, carrying the stench of scorched metal. From within the storm came distant screams, too human to be imagined. The gale tore Lena from the group. Her camera fell, still recording. The final frames showed her engulfed by shifting eyes and claw-like shadows. Then the storm consumed everything. Maria clutched her head, whispering over and over, "They're watching, they're listening, they're hungry." Ethan and Maria stumbled into ruins, half buried by dunes. The walls were etched with carvings, people sinking into sand, their faces twisted in agony, their souls dissolving into grains. One inscription stood out, translated haltingly by Maria. "The sand devours memory. Those who enter are never returned." Scattered bones littered the ruins, frozen in silent screams. Faint whispers drifted up from beneath the earth, as though the dead were still alive, still begging. Ethan wrote frantically in his journal. "The dunes consume more than flesh. They swallow memory, thought, the very soul. There is no death here, only hunger." On the fifth day, shimmering on the horizon, they saw salvation. A lake glittering beneath the cruel sun. Desperate, they stumbled toward it. Maria froze at its edge, her eyes wide with terror. "This isn't water," she whispered. "It's alive." Ethan ignored her, plunging into the cool surface. But the lake wasn't water. It was sand, liquid and writhing. He screamed as it pulled him under, his fingers clawing at the air before vanishing. Maria fell to her knees, and then, as though mocking her despair, the lake vanished. The dunes lay still once more, silent, patient. Weeks later, locals spoke in hushed tones of strange sounds in the desert, screams carried by the wind, mirages that vanished as travelers approached, and shadows that moved of their own accord. A torn journal was found half buried in the sand. The final words chilled all who read them. The dunes are watching. The dunes are waiting. Escape is impossible. Trust no mirage. And the Atlantic dunes remain to this day, silent, waiting, and forever hungry.